everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some of the wildest, most mind-boggling mysteries from World War II stories that didn't make it into your history textbooks, but will leave you questioning everything. We're talking about strange events, missing objects, and unanswered questions that still haunt us decades later. From a mysterious globe tied to Hitler's ambitions to a chaotic night in Los Angeles that had everyone on edge, these are the tales that keep historians and curious minds like us up at night. So, grab a snack, get comfy, and let's jump into the first part of this journey. Hitler's globe. A symbol of a dark dream, all right. Let's start with something straight out of a dictator's playbook. Picture this, it's the 1930s, Nazi Germany is flexing its power across Europe, and in Adolf Hitler's private office sits a massive, custom-made globe. This wasn't just any globe, it was called the Columbus Globe for state and industry leaders, crafted by a factory in Berlin. Only two of these bad boys were ever made. One went to the Nazi Party, and the other, right on Hitler's desk. This globe wasn't just a fancy decoration. It was a bold statement. On it, the world's borders were redrawn to match Hitler's vision. Austria, parts of Czechoslovakia, Poland, all marked as part of his so-called new empire. Thanks to that shady 1939 deal with the Soviet Union, fast forward to the end of the war, and this globe vanishes like a ghost. No one knows where the original went. Some say it ended up in a museum, others claim Allied or Soviet soldiers smashed it to bits in a fit of rage. There's even a story about an American soldier, John Barkamian, who supposedly snagged it from Hitler's mountain retreat, brought it back to the US, and sold it at auction for a small fortune. But here's the kicker, some historians, like German researcher Wolframs, think the real globe might have belonged to Joachim von Ribbentrop, Hitler's foreign minister. If that's true, it could be locked away in a Russian archive, hidden from the world. Today, you can find replicas of this globe floating around, but no one can say for sure which one, if any, is the real deal. It's like a creepy time capsule, a reminder of a guy who thought he could redraw the world to fit his ego. What do you think happened to it? Stashed in a secret vault or lost forever? Let me know in the comments. The Battle of Los Angeles. Panic in the skies now, let's shift gears to the US home front. Just weeks after the Pearl Harbor attack in 1941, America's in the war now, and people are freaked out. Everyone's worried the next big attack is coming, especially on the West Coast, where Japan feels way too close for comfort. Japanese submarines had already popped up off the coast, firing on American ships, so the fear was real. Cities were under strict blackout orders at night, no lights, no nothing, to avoid being spotted by enemy planes. People were trained to duck and cover at the sound of air raid sirens. It was tense. Then, on the night of February 24, 1942, all hell breaks loose in Los Angeles. The Office of Naval Intelligence had warned that an attack on California could happen within hours. By 2:25 a.m., air raid sirens are screaming, the city goes dark, and soldiers from the 37th Coast Artillery Brigades start unloading over 1,400 anti-aircraft shells into the sky. The noise, the flashes, the chaos, it felt like a full-on invasion. People thought Japanese planes were swarming overhead. But here's the weird part. When the dust settled, there were no enemy planes. No wreckage, no bombs, nothing. The next morning, the Secretary of the Navy, Frank Knox, called it a false alarm. Some experts said it might have been weather balloons mistaken for planes in the dark, mixed with a whole lot of paranoia. But it wasn't just a harmless mix-up. 6 people died that night, 3 from heart attacks, 3 from car accidents in the chaos. It's a wild example of how fear can take over, making people see threats that aren't even there. What do you think it was? A case of wartime jitters or something stranger? Drop your thoughts below. Who betrayed Anne Frank? Alright, let's start with one of the most haunting questions from the war. If you've ever read The Diary of a Young Girl, you know Anne Frank's story. In 1940, when Nazi Germany took over the Netherlands, Anne and her family, like thousands of other Jewish families, went into hiding. They tucked themselves away in a secret annex behind a hidden wall in the building where Anne's dad, Otto Frank, used to work. For 2 years, they lived in total silence, barely daring to breathe. During that time, 13-year-old Anne poured her heart into her diary, her fears, her hopes, her dreams of a better future. But on August 4th, 1944, it all came crashing down. A German police unit, led by an officer named Karl Silberbauer, stormed the annex. Everyone was arrested and sent to concentration camps. Anne died at Bergen-Belsen in early 1945, just weeks before the camp was liberated. Out of the 8 people hiding, only Otto survived. After the war, he published Anne's diary, turning her into a global symbol of resilience and the horrors of the Holocaust. But here asks the question that still keeps people up at night. Who tipped off the Nazis? Over the years, people have pointed fingers in every direction. Was it a nosy neighbor, a bitter ex-employee? Someone in the building who traded the secret for food rations or cash? The theories are endless, but hard proof? Zilch. In 2016, a team of investigators, including former FBI agents, took a fresh look. They didn't just dig through old files, they used modern tech to hunt for new connections. One idea they floated was that the raid might not have been about the Franks at all. Maybe the Nazis were cracking down on an underground group handing out illegal food coupons, and the annex was discovered by accident. Then, in 2018, a controversial book suggested a Jewish woman who worked with the Nazis might have been the informant, though she was later arrested herself. The problem is, everyone involved is either gone or didn't leave clear records. Every lead feels like a dead end. An F story I sent to you just about lost it as a reminder that some truths might stay buried forever. What do you think happened? Was it a deliberate betrayal or a tragic accident? Let me know in the comments. Flight 19 vanished in the Bermuda Triangle. Now, let's jump to something that's straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's December 5th, 1945, just months after World War II ends. 5 U.S. Navy TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, known as Flight 19, take off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for a routine training mission. The plan? Fly a triangular route over the Atlantic and head back to base. Easy, right? Except they never came back. A few hours in, things start going sideways. The flight leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, radios in, saying their navigational instruments are acting up. They're lost, drifting way off course. Ground control tries to guide them back, but the signals get weaker and weaker until poof gone. The Navy scrambles a seaplane with 13 crew members to search for them. And then, in a twist that makes your skin crawl, that plane vanishes too. 6 aircraft, 27 men, all gone without a single piece of wreckage or a distress signal. Weeks of searching turned up nothing. This wasn't just a tragedy, it became one of the biggest aviation mysteries ever. By the 1960s and 70s, when people got obsessed with the paranormal, Flight 19 was linked to the Bermuda Triangle. That infamous patch of ocean where ships and planes supposedly disappear. Theories went wild. Some said the planes were sucked into another dimension. Others claimed aliens nabbed them. Adding to the creep factor, there's a story that Taylor didn't even want to fly that day. He reportedly asked to sit the mission out, but was told to suit up anyway. Did he have a gut feeling something was wrong? No bodies, no wreckage, no answers. Flight 19 isn't just a missing squadron, it's a symbol of the unknown, a place where logic hits a wall. What do you think happened to them? Bad weather, human error, or something way weirder? Drop your theories below. Alright, let's talk about something that feels like it belongs in a detective story. Auschwitz, Poland's notorious concentration camp complex is a name that carries the weight of unimaginable tragedy. Over 1 million people, mostly Jewish, lost their lives there during the war. But in 2009, a discovery at one of Auschwitz's subcamps, Monowitz, flipped the script and opened a whole new mystery. A Polish historian named Dominik Sienkiewicz was doing routine preservation work when he found something buried under dust and debris in an old bunker, a handwritten list, scrawled in pencil with the names of 17 British soldiers. This wasn't just any list. The names were written in all caps, hard to read but clearly English-speaking soldiers. As soon as word got out, researchers started freaking out. Who were these guys? Why were their names tucked away in one of the most horrific places run by Nazi Germany? Some thought they might have been Jewish British prisoners of war captured during battles in Europe and sent to Auschwitz. Others wondered if they could have been British soldiers who defected and somehow ended up working with the Nazis. Crazy, right? Both ideas make you pause, but there's not enough evidence to pin either one down. What makes this even weirder are the strange markings next to some of the names. A few had symbols, but no one's figured out what they mean. Were they noting who was alive or dead? Maybe marking some kind of mission? It's anyone's guess. After the discovery, Polish authorities reached out to British Army archives to try matching the names with official records. But by 2010, they'd hit a wall, no major breakthroughs. That fragile piece of paper isn't just about 17 names. It's a puzzle that makes us rethink what we know about loyalty, survival, and the secrets people carried during the war. What do you think those soldiers were doing there? Share your ideas in the comments. And there you have it, folks, the strangest, most haunting mysteries of World War II, from a globe that symbolized one man's twisted dream to rule the world, to a night of panic in Los Angeles, to the heartbreaking betrayal of Anne Frank the Vanished. Flight 19, and now this mysterious list at Auschwitz. These stories remind us that history isn't just about battles and dates. It's about the questions we still can't answer, the ones that keep us digging for the truth. What's your favorite mystery from this series? Are you team Hitler's globe is in a Russian vault, or Flight 19 got zapped by aliens? Let me know in the comments and tell me what other historical mysteries you want me to tackle next. If you loved this journey, give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thanks for hanging out with me through all 3 parts. You guys are the best. Stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one.